Hey everyone, Thordan Smash here, and today we are going to be talking about, well, Apex Legends server issues and why they seem to be on fire, and Respawn and EA might have lied about the progress. We're going to go over all that. We're also going to give out a Prestige skin. All you gotta do is like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic.
So yesterday we got the brand new season of Apex Legends. The only downside is that when it launched, no one was actually able to get into the game whatsoever. That being said, well, Respawn and EA had said they had done a big migration to AWS servers. So did it actually fix the problems? And the answer seems to be no. So let's dive into it. 6 months ago, Respawn decided to make a pretty big change. They pulled off one of the fastest, smoothest server migrations ever, moving Apex Legends to Amazon GameLift or AWS servers in just 10 days. There was no downtime during this, no interruptions, nothing. It was basically marketed like a miracle. And then you fast forward to this past weekend in EMEA ALGS, and we saw one of the most embarrassing clown shows in esports history. You had constant restarts, pros disconnecting mid-game, matches delayed for hours. It turns out you can slap Apex on the fanciest servers in the world, but if the core engine is duct tape spaghetti code, it's still going to collapse the moment you ask it to host a tournament. So this was all a PR win. Basically, back in March, EA and Respawn bragged hard about this migration, and to be fair, it was actually impressive. Apex moved from a hybrid bare metal setup to full cloud hosting. Respawn got real-time monitoring, zero downtime updates, and more visibility into performance, and AWS was even hyped as one of their flagship GameLift projects. They even sold us the dream, scaling up for 100 million concurrent players, seamless matchmaking, global low latency. Basically, Apex players were supposed to finally live in the promised land of stable servers. 6 months later, we're still waiting on that dream. The past weekend, the ALGS in Europe was on full-on catastrophe. Teams had to replay matches over and over because of disconnects. Entire squads got dropped mid-game. Some teams were left playing duos in the final ring because the third teammate never reconnected. Nicewick said it best, over 15 disconnects and crashes in 30 minutes. One game played in over an hour. And this isn't just a bad day at the office. This is the most important tournament series in Apex Legends. Imagine if the Super Bowl had to stop and restart because the footballs kept deflating mid-play. That's what Apex Esports basically looks like right now, and it's humiliating for a game that's supposed to be the premier battle royale. So what happened? Wasn't Amazon GameLift supposed to fix everything? Well, here's the thing. AWS isn't the problem. These servers run half the internet. They power Netflix, Disney Plus, and games like Dead by Daylight and Mortal Kombat 1 without issues. The real problem is Apex's underlying engine. Apex is still, like we've gone over many times on this channel, running on a heavily modified version of Valve's source engine from 2007. That means the netcode, tick rate, and server logic were never designed for high-speed, sub-second TTK battle royale with 60 players, constant ability spam, and pro-level stakes. You can migrate all that to GameLift, but if the code itself is stitched together like Frankenstein's monster, you're basically just moving a busted car from one garage to another. New garage, same broken engine. And here's where the EA deserves some real roasting. Apex has made over $3.4 billion since launch. Yet, instead of reinvesting in rebuilding the engine or modernizing the infrastructure, EA actually laid off Apex's QA team earlier last year. So when pro players get griefed by servers, when EMEA broadcasts turn into multi-hour delays, when ranked in Europe is unplayable nearly 40% of the time, there's literally no one left to catch or fix these issues early. EA gets to brag about a world-class migration in press releases, but players are still dealing with code nets and disconnects like it's 2018. At this point, it's beyond embarrassing. It's negligence. And this is why esports for Apex feels stuck. You cannot have a serious competitive scene when the servers themselves are the final boss. Players are not just fighting each other, they're fighting Respawn spaghetti netcode and refs that will not delay the game. One Redditor said it best: imagine if NASCAR or F1 tried to be taken seriously, but none of the cars worked. That's Apex Legends esports right now, and it's not just pro play. Regular players in EU and in NA are suffering constant disconnects, high ping, and broken server estimates. I've seen it all over Reddit that players are saying this season it seems like the servers just aren't working. And this is why more and more people are asking about Apex Legends too, because at some point, Respawn has to stop patching leaks and actually rebuild the ship. Apex is being held back by the same old source-based infrastructure that's been cracking since launch. Apex 2 could finally mean a modern engine, high tick rate servers, stable infrastructure that actually matches the scale of its esports ambitions. Until then, we're going to keep reliving the same nightmare. AWS press releases about smooth migrations, followed by ALGS weekends where pros are forced to replay matches because the servers forgot how to function or that hamster passed out. So yeah, 6 months ago, Respawn pulled off one of the most impressive technical migrations in gaming history, but this past weekend showed us the ugly truth. Apex isn't being held back by AWS or the servers they use. It's being held back by its own outdated core, and EA should be absolutely ashamed. Respawn deserve credit for what they pulled off, but players deserve better than this. Apex Legends 2 isn't just a meme at this point, it's the only way forward. Until then, the servers will keep gripping us harder than any Predator sweat ever.
Fire. Enemy shield cracked. Reload. Another enemy falls.
We've got another squad on us.
Fire.
Shields recharging. How about a wee This bouncer bum unleashing my singularity.
Enemy shield cracked. Shooting.
Sounds indicate there are enemies this way.
Backpack here. Level 2.
Subject down. Enemies detected there.
Poke out. Take out. Enemy shield cracked. Down.
Give my shield to recharge. Enemy crashes. Enemy shield.
Just topping off my shields.
There are so many better ways to die.
Got an electrical engineer, no?
Maybe I can air nade them through the roof. Boom! Yes! They're flying off the roof! Bro, das war crazy. Aber leider kann ich ihn nicht killen. Doch, ich hab ihn!
Your thoughts on, well, Apex Legends servers issues, and also don't forget to check out my outdoor channel right here where we do outdoor activities on the daily. And until next time, everyone, keep slaying the outlands. I'll see you out there.